Now the other thing that that people don't realize is when you put cruise control on with an ABS system, okay, and you get into a traction system. I had a Buick LaCrosse that just went absolutely nuts. I'm in a rainstorm. I got the cruise control on, and you hit a puddle doing highway speeds, and it doesn't know how to react.
Oh, that would be stability control, not not
Well,
anti-lock
I'm sorry,
brakes.
stability control, not ABS, but the ABS
Stability or traction
doesn't.
control,
Yeah,
depending on
yeah.
exactly what happened.
Oh, yeah. And it just, I
Because the
mean,
cruise control wants to keep the power because
maintain.
you it sees your look, it sees the speeds going down, so it gives it more power. And then the traction control says, "Hey, we have no traction," and it cuts the power back. And the two systems are arguing in
They're
the back room.
conflicting. That's
They're
exactly right.
slapping each other back, and yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, we're slowing down. No,
Uh-huh.
we're losing
Yeah.
traction. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. Stability control and cruise control don't mix. If it starts raining, turn it off.
Oh,
Turn it off.
yeah, even worse. Well, I had the Alfa Romeo Giulia Quadrifoglio. It's like, a car that takes 10 minutes to tell people what you got. And on the forums, they had these people, yeah, I was driving along in the rain and my car just spun all over the place. Well, the regular Giulia has three modes on its driving system. Uh, E for efficiency, N for normal, and uh, S for sport.
Probably.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. The Giulia had the Quadrifoglio had one more, Corsa, for race.
Yeah.
And when you turned it on race, suddenly the exhaust opens all the way up and it just goes, rah, that sounds really, 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 awesome. 3/4 of a Ferrari engine. And so these guys just put it in race all the time, ignoring the fact that race turned off all the stability control. And so they're driving along and they hit a little uneven patch and the car would just swap ends. And they were mad at the car when you put it in race and the dashboard lights up. It tells you, ESC off, traction off, all this stuff.
Hmm.
It warns you that this stuff is off.
Yeah.
But they just liked it to be noisy, and so they just turned it over to the Corsa.
Two words, operator error.
Oh yeah, you should never use cruise control in any inclement weather or poor traction conditions whatsoever. I mean,
Absolutely. Totally agree.
yeah,
But,
yeah,
but
I'm driving on the beach. Let me put on cruise control. Yeah,
yeah.
no, I'm I'm doing the Rubicon. Let me put on cruise control. No, 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 no.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's just, one of the things, and we're talking about a lot of things in this segment. It's really important for the salespeople to be as thorough as they can because ultimately, we're talking about people's lives behind the wheel of a vehicle, okay?
And their
Um,
comfort.
and well, the comfort for sure, but you don't want anybody to get killed or seriously injured because there was a feature that you didn't go over or go over enough to warrant where somebody, may be in a situation that they didn't expect. And again, a vehicle that they're not real familiar with, they take ownership of, they get in a car and they're going to do a trip and they're
Yep.
in a situation that they have no idea how this vehicle is going to react. They remember how their 10-year-old vehicle did and it's completely different. So being
Oh
thorough
yeah.
with everything is just so important, and it's really something that we don't in the industry talk enough about. And
Yep.
I will say this, we talked in one of the other episodes about when Dodge launched the 1994 Ram pickup truck, and we went through extensive training on what the truck could do, but we also were taught what it couldn't do. All right. People think that you got a truck, you can pull the world with it. Okay. And, I have a little thing I do called truck training. And one of the things that we talk about is you can't ask a truck to do something it wasn't designed to do. And so when somebody's coming to you and said, yeah, I've got a truck and I want a truck and I'm going to trailer this. and I'm going to do this with it and that with it. We were taught how to recommend and job rate the vehicle for the job.
Job rate,
The job,
load rate, trailer
okay?
rate, job rate. Yep.
Correct. So we knew what our capacities were. And, quite honestly, back then with just a regular cab pickup, there were certain things that the truck just wasn't designed to do, and they had to look at alternatives. Not so much the case today, but the point I'm looking to make is you've got people that'll hook up something to the back end of a truck, and you drive on highway like I do, and you see these things just slapping. The front wheels are popping off the ground. Why? Because they got too much in the back, or the load in the back is weaving back and forth, oscillating because they don't have the proper trailering equipment, or the trailer weighs
Bad
too
weight
much for
distribution. Yeah.
exactly. You know, and this it's critical because people, there's a reason why they have weigh stations around the interstate to make sure those big tractor trailers aren't overloaded and unsafe for the regular public. But the same holds true for the individual owners who drive a passenger truck or just even a half-ton truck, because you
Yeah.
see big dualies pulling what, 25, 30, 40,000 pound rigs behind them. Okay. And, they got to make sure the truck, because the weakest link that fails, you're going to have an accident. And,
Yep.
so again, I stress safety and the importance of knowing, the capabilities of these, because ultimately it's your responsibility as a salesperson to make sure that customer, they have a good working understanding of what the capacities are and the limits of what these vehicles can do.
Goes back to need assessments and choosing the right vehicle for them.
Absolutely.
And it in two instances, people get a false sense of security. One with four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive systems, and two with towing. And they're both the same thing. Oh, if I can get it moving, I'm good. In other words, if the all-wheel drive will get you moving in that snow, well, then I'm perfectly safe. I can do 90 miles an hour. But getting a vehicle moving and stopping it or turning it are two completely different things. And it's the same with towing. Yeah, you might be able to pull that 20,000 load with that 1,500 vehicle, with that 1,500 truck. You might be able to get up to highway speeds and, the engine's just straining a little bit. But controlling it, you know, the road just goes into a gentle bend and suddenly that trailer is wagging the truck around. It's throwing the back axle over or stopping it. And, especially if God forbid, the trailer brake system fails. And that's why the
If it
job
has
rating is
one,
so important.
yeah, if it has a
Yeah.
trailer brake, you
Oh
know,
yeah. Well,
federal
then
law now.
you'll find out real quick if you have a load more than, 4,000 pounds, legally, I think the limit is
Five
15.
5,000 pounds, you're required to carry a electric trailer brake. Okay, but that wasn't the
Yep.
case before.
Oh,
Okay,
the recommendation is 2,000, right? So if you're even doing 4,000 pounds, you'll find out real quick what it means to not be able to control your load just when you go down that first block, because that you come gently to the first four-way stop sign, that trailer is going to be jacking you all around. It's going to be like, I don't want to stop.
yeah, I mean, as far as safety is concerned, first thing is you got to be able to contain whatever it is you're pulling. You got to contain the load, and you got to be able to move it safely. But the other thing too is you may get it started in the snow, but you got to stop it in the snow. Okay. The truck might weigh 3,500 pounds, but you're pulling 5,000 pounds. What is it? F equals M times A.
Yep.
The back's pushing you forward and
And
trying to
most
control,
trailers,
so I said the trailer, that's why you have to have a trailer brake,
trailers, almost all trailers over, 1,000 or 2,000 pounds have trailer brakes, but I don't know of any trailer that has anti-lock brakes.
none of them do. None of them do. But, those are recent laws on the books. I give you a true story. I was driving from Atlanta to Augusta on Interstate 20, and this guy had an early 90s model Chevrolet pickup truck, extended cab, half ton, and he's pulling a trailer. And the trailer was probably 30 feet long.
Oh,
And the trailer itself, it was an older trailer. It wasn't, anything new because it looked like he was moving it from one piece of property to another. And of course, it's not like here in New Orleans. It's up and down, hill country,
he was
winding.
probably taking his sandbag collection with him too.
Well, the thing about it is we're doing about 70 miles an hour and I'm, half you know, mile behind him. I'm watching this thing and the trailer starts oscillating back and forth. And he's going up and down and it's doing this. And I'm like, this is not going to end good. And the geography and, excuse me, the topography, in valleys there, he started going back and forth where the back end of the trailer clipped the side of the road and truck and trailer went spinning down the highway. Trailer just disintegrated
Oh,
and the truck wound up on his side. Guy was killed.
oh
Okay.
no.
Because he was asking something of that truck to do that it wasn't designed to do. And it was sad, like I said, debris all over the road. Nobody else got killed. It was but nobody touched him. It was just the situation, the vehicle
Dynamics.
was the dynamics. That's it. He didn't have any of the stability for the trailer. You know how you
Or it was overridden because it was too heavy. I mean,
well,
an anti-sway system on either the electronic on the vehicle, which it did not have,
it didn't have any of that. It just
no,
he was
or
trying to do
a
too much with the
mechanical
truck.
stabilizer anti-sway system can only contain so much weight. You can't put a stabilizer sway bar system on a trailer and have it do 3 times the weight that it was designed for.
Well, exactly. And we're coming up on 20 years after Hurricane Katrina. I remember with these trucks that were overloaded,
Oh yeah.
pulling debris. And I mean, they're bouncing all over it. And there's no way these things were legal. And beside dumping junk all over the highway, these things were, a hazard to kill people just because you couldn't control the trucks with the load. So anyway, I'll get off the soapbox, but again, the point I'm trying to make is, as a salesperson, you got to make the proper recommendation, especially when it comes to trucks, especially when it comes to trailering and towing, because it could cost the customer their life if you don't do it the right
Yeah.
way.
For their peace of mind, your peace of mind, and the liability on you and the dealership, really.
Yeah, you don't want to say, yeah, that truck will pull 10,000 pounds, and then the dealer's got to buy it back because it's been in service 3 times because the transmission and the differential is all torn up. No, you better
Yeah.
know your product. Seen that happen too.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you and it really helps out.